Good evening, everyone. Today we'll continue with the chapter number 1, Social Science Resources. Today's topics will be forest, its uses, its conservation, and wildlife. Firstly, I'll tell you the meaning of forest. As you already know, in general terms, the area where there are many trees, in simple terms, where there are many trees, it is known as forest. But according to the book, large area of earth's surface with dominance of trees. Dominance means trees are dominating and trees are the only part of that area in the form of natural vegetation. That area is known as forest. So in short, we can say the area where trees are dominating and whole area is covered with trees and natural vegetation, that is known as forest. Earlier, 25% of the earth was covered with forest, but later, because of the reckless destruction of trees, forest and natural vegetation, only 15% of the earth is covered with forest. And there are very variety of forest in India. Because of that, we have variety of vegetation and we have variety of crops in India. So India is very rich in various types of forest, which you have already studied in class 9th. Next, I'll tell you the importance of forests. Forests are the most important wealth of the nation. Why? Because without forest, most of the industries cannot work. First importance will be, it is a national wealth. If you have forest, it means you have national wealth. You can use that forest for many variety of works. There are two types of benefits from forest. First, direct benefit. Second, indirect benefit. Direct benefits comprises of those benefits which you get directly and which you can see directly. For example, wood. You are getting wood directly from the trees, and those woods are used for furniture. Sandalwood, teak, sal, all types of woods are directly used. Second, minor forest produce. Minor forest produce means lac, gum, bamboo, honey. These all types of products are minor forest produce, which help many industries in India. Material for basic industries. Basic means most important industries in India are working because of forest. For example, paper industry. Forest helps paper industry through its natural vegetation, that is bamboo. Oil, leather, herbal medicines, all are part of forest. Grazing land for animals. Animals can easily graze on the land because of the forest. Employment opportunities. Forest department provide many kinds of job to people of the country. So it is also providing you employment. Foreign exchange. We can import export through our forest produce, or we can easily get foreign exchange by exporting our products in outside world. Small scale industries like wax, honey, these all are getting direct benefit from forest. So these were the direct benefits from forest. Next, I'll tell you indirect benefits. Indirect means they are not seen directly, but some way or the other forest is helping you indirectly. For example, controls soil erosion. Forest controls soil erosion. How? If there are trees will bind the soil and soil erosion will be prevented. So you can easily control soil erosion because of forest. Controls the climate. Climate is controlled because of trees. High temperature can be avoided if there are trees in your country. You can get rainfall because clouds are attracted towards the trees. Checks flood. If there is tree in your area, flood will not do lot of destruction as compared to the plain area, because forests help the soil to be bounded, and that soil never gets easily washed away by the floods. Next is increases soil fertility. If there are forests, then soil fertility will be increased. How? Because many types of land which are barren, that land is not fertile because there is no tree, no plant. But the lands where there are more trees, that land is better and fertility is much better than the barren land. And increases the water level. How it increases the water level? Because trees help in soaking the water from the environment, and below the earth's surface, below the land, we have groundwater. So forests help in saving the water also. But there are many problems for forest resources. Decline in the forest area because of overpopulation. Forest area is becoming less and less because of industries, new houses, infrastructure, and because of the forest fire. Sometimes forest fire occurs and large areas of forest is destroyed. Urbanization. Most of the villages are converted into cities, so we have to cut trees to build new cities. So because of urbanization, forest is destroyed. Transportation problem. There are many transportation problem because most of the areas are not connected with forest. So we cannot get our forest produced very easily in the urban area because of the transportation problem. And traditional techniques of preserving our forest are used, so we are not able to preserve our forest in a better way. Why? Because modern techniques are not used. Now I'll tell you the conservation of forest in India. Conservation, I have already told you, to protect or to save it from destruction. Since British time, in India, British government made a forest policy in 1894. Forest policy was made in order to protect the forest. At the time of Britishers, the main aim of this policy was to get income from the forest by selling the produce of forest and to conserve our forest. But in 1950, after independence, this policy was changed. Now it aimed at increasing the forest cover in India and increasing the research in forest. Research in forest means people are not working in forest, people are not studying about the forest. So in 1950 policy, research was increased. In 1988, again this policy was revised, which aimed at checking soil erosion, which aimed at maintaining environment stability and conserving our national heritage, which is our forest. It also aimed at checking desertification, those areas where there are no trees, and it encouraged in proper utilization of the products of forest. In 1990, many new programs were started by central government of India in order to conserve our forest. Programs like Social Forestry Scheme. Social Forestry Scheme was made with the association of World Bank and Indian government. This scheme aimed at planting more and more trees near the wasteland, canals, roadsides. One more scheme was there, one tree for one child. This slogan was given in all the schools and colleges so that each and every student can plant one tree. One more scheme was there, that is Van Mahotsav, which was started by K.M. Munshi in 1950. This Mahotsav aimed at planting more trees and increasing the forest area. From 1st to 7th July every year, we celebrate Van Mahotsav, that is Festival of Trees. One more scheme was there, that is Forest Conservation Act in 1980. It was also aiming at conserving our forest. Indian Institute of Forest Management is set up in Bhopal. It is set up in order to prevent cutting of trees and proper forest management. It is set up with association of Swedish company so that forest in our city and our country can be protected. In this way, I have completed forest and its benefits. its conservation. Now I'll start with the last topic of my lesson, that is wildlife and endangered species. Wildlife and animals are very important part for any country and the government of any country. Why? Because it provides lots of foreign exchange revenue to the government. Revenue means income through wildlife. But people of the country are not at all bothered about the safety of wildlife. Many animals such as tiger, rhinoceros, lion, elephants are getting decreased every day. Why? Because of the reckless destruction of forest and wildlife for the personal benefits. People are not at all bothered and not at all kind towards animals. There are many factors responsible for the destruction of wildlife. First is hunting and poaching. Hunting and poaching means illegal catching of animals or illegal killing of animals for personal benefits. So this is the main factor why many species are decreasing. Deforestation. If we'll cut down the forest, we'll cut down the home of animals, how they will survive. So forests are the main areas where they live, and if we'll destroy forest, animals cannot survive. Raw material for many industries. Raw material means there are many industries which are working because of the animals and wildlife such as skin, their horns, other elements present in their body. So that industries can work, these animals are killed. Environmental pollution. Many animals are not able to survive in the environment because of the pollution and bad conditions of the society. We can say some animals cannot adapt to the new conditions of society, or we have seen in robot movie that birds cannot survive because of mobile phone towers and the radiation. Species of birds are decreasing. In the same way, because of the pollution, many animals are getting extinct. Last, not kind towards animal. People are not at all kind towards animal and they are killing animal for their benefits. How we can preserve or conserve wildlife? Firstly, we should safeguard their natural habitat. We should not cut down their homes. We should not destruct forests so that they can live there peacefully. We should stop poaching and hunting. Poaching and hunting, I have already told you, illegal killing of animals. We should not allow illegal killing of animals, or we can say for personal benefits. We should educate the people and make them aware about the importance of wildlife. Why wildlife is very important for a particular nation or for the environment, because they maintain ecological balance. Makes parks and biosphere. We should try to make national park and biosphere reserves so that they can easily live there and people cannot enter in those areas. These restricted areas are very important for wildlife. Implementation of wildlife management program should be there. Endangered and rare species must be preserved in a managed way so that in future we can have these species in our country. Many projects are going on in our country, such as Tiger Project, which is working for preservation of tigers. Elephant Project is also working, and they are trying to make biosphere reserves also, so that these rare species can be preserved in biosphere reserves and national parks. There are 14 biosphere reserves in our country. These reserves are like home for these people so that they can live without any interference of human beings and they are not at all harmed by human beings. There are many national parks and sanctuaries in our country which have these rare species. I will tell you the names of main sanctuaries. That is, first is Kaziranga National Park in Assam. It has one-horn rhinoceros rare species in that park. Next is Gir National Park in Gujarat. It has Asiatic lions in that park. Jim Corbett Park in Uttaranchal. There are pandas, there are tigers in that park. Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim. There are snow leopards. There is Desert sanctuary in Rajasthan. It has black bug, chinkara, and other rare species. So there are variety of national parks and biosphere reserves in our country, so that rare species can be preserved for future. Thank you. In this way I have completed my first chapter, that is resources. First I have done introduction of resources, next we did soil, next water, next forest, and lastly I have completed wildlife. In this way this chapter is finished. I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you.